We're live. Welcome to Hydro and Co. This is episode 1 of our highly dysfunctional sports podcast. So bear with us because it's probably going to be pretty shitty to start off day one. So I'm Wyatt, otherwise known as Big Hydro. And we got our resident Orioles fan over here, Kendall. Take it away.
Me. I'm the residential Orioles fan, Kendall. You'll often hear me referred to as K-Dog on here, and I will swing it over to B Rich down there.
I'm Brandon. I'm the washed-up JUCO catcher. You'll hear me referred to as B Rich most of the time. So,
fuck yeah, the man with the needs of a 65-year-old man. So pretty simple agenda for today, boys. We're going to start with, let me pull up the agenda here. I didn't even fucking open it. All-Star snubs. So, I know there's some strong opinions from the two of you because your fan base does not have 6 All-Stars like my team does.
Oh, so, screw off.
By the way, I'm a Yankees fan. K-Dog's an Orioles fan. B Rich is a Cardinals fan. So
go Cards.
Go Pinstripes.
No,
fuck you. So we'll go ahead and go with all-star snubs, talking about who we think should have got in versus who got in. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'll go ahead and show the all-star bracket. That's for later on. Fuck. Okay, so we'll start with the American League starters. Personally, I think the American League starters are the only person missing from this is Jose Trevino at catcher. Fuck Alejandro Kirk.
That is horrible. That's a horrible take.
No.
Big Hydro.
Alejandro Kirk deserves to be starting catcher. All right, move on.
I don't see – the only other argument that I could see with the starting list is maybe Xander Bogaerts at shortstop over Tim Anderson.
Okay, I do have a big problem with the AL starters.
Right here.
I think no, not even really that. I think that is a problem, but the bigger problem is at DH because Yordan Alvarez, if you're just looking at just hitting stats, which is DH, he beats Shohei in very majority of the hitting categories. Like Yordan Alvarez should be the starting DH for the AL, 100%.
I can agree, but I think that the MLB also just love Shohei.
They do
suck off Shohei. Yeah,
they love Shohei, and because he has been dominant recently pitching, they have him as DH because they just can't get over the fact that DH should just be straight hitting, which would mean Yordan should be starting.
Which
I know he's hurt, but he should have been the starter since the voting came out.
Yeah, which the good rule is now that the DH or if a pitcher is DH and then they can continue to hit throughout the game. So, I mean,
yeah,
that helps.
Going into National League starters, this also looks pretty straightforward to me. Bryce Harper obviously was the favorite before the injury to be to the DH.
Yeah.
You could say Nolan at third. I could take that argument. Yeah, Big Rich, I know what you're thinking.
Look, I mean, to me, either one. I love Nolan more, but Manny also he's had a better stretch. Nolan slumped really, really bad in the month of May. So
big Manny fan, but I feel like they could have gone either way there.
The outfield looks good to me.
I will say, I think Jazz Chisholm by all means deserve to be an all-star, but I think the MLB needs to. I think that Tommy Edman being listed as shortstop kind of screwed him and Trey Turner from both starting. I think Jazz Chisholm should have been an all-star because he started the year off great, but Tommy Edman either needed to be starting second or the MLB needs to add a utility position because Tommy Edman deserves to be an all-star starter.
See,
I was going to say that for later, though.
And that's an argument utility-wise for a lot of different things. Like I heard the Yankees broadcast the other day about how DJ LeMahieu, to all accounts, has been playing gold glove level defense at 3 positions, and he's not going to qualify for any of them because he's not going to make enough starts. So everyone's talking about they should add a utility player to the Gold Glove award too, but
Yeah, because even like people like Chris Taylor, like I know he's not having the greatest year and he's hurt, but there has been years where Chris Taylor has been very good, but he's kind of been robbed of being like maybe an all-star starter, maybe even an all-star some years, just because you can't really put him in a certain position because he plays everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy Two Bags can't. He isn't really an outfielder. The more I've watched, he can play there whenever we need him to, but whenever you really get into it, I mean, he came up through the minor league system as a shortstop. We moved him to second because we had Paul DeYoung, and we all see how that turned out. But then, I mean, he started second more than multiple games.
Yeah, and another argument's Jeff McNeil from the Mets to be second as well. He's had a pretty like sneaky good year, kind of like an Austin Riley type of year where he's not the most flashy player that's talked about, but his numbers speak for themselves. But
yep, batting over 300 this year.
Moving on to American League reserves. So I'm going to initially go ahead and say Luis Arias has had a great year, but I feel like there's some infield players in the AL that could have made it that probably deserved it a little more. But I think it comes down to, I mean, the Twins do have more than one player, but the rule of one player per team kind of throws some people in a weird spot.
I think Luis deserved it. He's got the highest batting average in the MLB right now.
Yeah, I was noticing that earlier. I really hadn't heard of him. He's been kind of an under the radar.
He has been very under the radar.
So I hadn't really heard about him very much.
You know, the backup outfield looks great. I mean, have they announced who's going to take for George Springer?
No.
Though I think they did. I think it was J-Rod, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw Jeff Passan tweet.
Oh wait, no.
About J-Rod not being an all-star, that I feel like he would be the one to take that spot. I look at his Twitter real quick though.
Yeah, I think J-Rod is the one who took his spot.
JD's the replacement for Jordan, which I think is a good replacement. I think if you're not going to have Jordan be the backup DH, I think third best DH in the league is probably JD.
Yeah.
And then the legacy reserve, which I think is a cool idea. It's kind of weird. You could, on the NL side, especially, there could probably be more than one. But I like how Miggy's the AL representative.
Wait, no, I think J-Rod was an all-star from the start, actually. I misspoke. I think Corey Seager got announced today that he took Springer's spot.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, it is Corey Seager.
I could have seen some arguments for old what's his fucking name from the Orioles?
Austin Hayes. Austin Hayes. If Springer was going to be missing, then they should have put an outfielder because Austin Hayes deserves to be an all-star this year.
I personally don't think Corey Seager should be an all-star. He's been
for
the Rangers.
Yeah, Corey Seager here recently, like over the last week, he's had I think he hit like a home run in 5 straight games. But other than that, he has not been he hasn't lived up to the hype that the Rangers signed him to be. And I think Austin Hayes, especially before he hurt his wrist about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was batting close to 300. He definitely deserves to be an all-star this year.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Rangers, their best player this year is on a 1-year, $4.5 million contract.
Yeah, they paid all that big money for nothing this year.
For Martin Perez to be the best player.
The Rangers spent all that money and forgot about pitching.
Yeah, it may come around. They may come around. I don't think that they will this year, but
yeah, it's long-term enough to where it's at least a foundation to build upon. But
yeah,
moving from there, we got the National League reserves. My boy Garrett Cooper making an all-star appearance. That's my dog in fantasy baseball.
Should have been Josh Bell.
I have him. I agree with that. I even think you could have argued that Josh Bell could have made it over CJ Cron.
Maybe.
And then CJ Cron make it as the replacement. But I think the big thing is that Garrett Cooper's been getting a lot of DH at bats for the Marlins because Jesus Aguilar usually starts at first. So if they want to keeping it true to the position, then I could see why.
Yep. I could have also seen Austin Riley maybe should have made it because I think he kind of got a little screwed there with the time. Yeah, he got snubbed, but he kind of got screwed with the timing, like with the All-Star voting, because right whenever All-Star voting came out, he was a little bit in a slump, but then as it went on, he started heating up. And now he's gotten his average up to a little over 280. He's got the most home runs among third basemen. I'm not saying he should be starting over Manny or Nolan because of what they can bring defensively as long as offense, but I think Austin Riley should have been an all-star.
I think it's really hard since you're going really in the infield, you're going two position players. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who are going to get snubbed like that, like Austin Riley, Tommy Edman, Josh Bell, like that. Those kind of people, just because there's only two people that position.
Yeah.
Now the outfield's a lot different because I mean you get what 4 or 5. So, I mean it's still kind of hard for the outfield, but
plus people like Bryce Harper are technically qualified as a DH, so that just kind of adds another outfielder that they could put in there.
Yeah.
Which I mean, to Bryce Harper's credit, I mean I don't think he started in the outfield all year.
Yeah, because of
Tommy John.
Yeah.
So I will say one sub. I don't think Travis d'Arnaud should have been the catcher, the backup catcher. I think it should have been Will Smith from the Dodgers.
Will Smith is on.
See, that's what's funny about the legacy pick. So the legacy pick is Albert, and that's what I was saying about the National League because you could very well see Yachty be a legacy player as well. So they're only having one's funny.
I think it's just because I think they would have put both of them in it if Yachty wasn't hurt, honestly.
Yeah. But that's all of that. So we're going to move on. Speaking of, the All-Star coming around, we're getting to midseason. We're halfway through. We all watch MLB quite regularly, so we've been able to kind of look around the league and see, who's doing well, who's not.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give our mid-season awards. Fuck. So we'll start with MVP, and then we'll work our way down. So we're going to start with who we think the MVP is right now, and then follow that up with who we think the MVP will be at the end of the year. So, Kendall, K-Dog, why don't you start us off?
We're going AL first?
AL first. Better league first.
The better league first.
Yeah.
Okay. My mid-season personally awards so far for AL MVP, I would give it to Yordan Alvarez. But I think most people would probably give it to Aaron Judge because he has the most homers in the league. But Yordan this year has 26 home runs, batting .306. He's got 60 RBIs with an on-base percentage of .405, OPS of over 1, which is crazy. I mean, he comes to the field every single day, rakes the ball. It's just what he does for the Astros. Got a pretty good arm in the outfield, too. I know he's not the fastest person in the world, but he does have a decent defensive presence out there just because of his arm. And then I think by the end of the year, I think it will be Shohei winning it because he is on a tear right now pitching. Dude's unhittable right now. And with the media liking to see what he can do from both sides of the plate, I think if he just keeps doing what he's doing right now and just plays just good, he don't even have to be great, I think he will win it at the end of the year.
I guess I need to go for the MVP, AL MVP. I think Aaron Judge would be the AL MVP for me, although he has slump.
Wyatt already knew. Y'all already knew I wasn't going to pick Aaron Judge.
No. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
I mean, you make a good point, but also Aaron Judge is putting up very, very immaculate numbers. He looks good at the plate. The past couple of weeks he's slumped, but he'll probably turn it around if he can stay healthy. By the end of the year, I can agree if Shohei keeps it up, he's going to win back-to-back easy.
Dude, he on the mound, he's untouchable right now.
If he keeps this up, he will win the MVP for so many years, and I feel so sorry for Mike Trout because he's the best player. He's probably the best player we have seen, if not Shohei. depending on what Shohei can do for years to come. But Trout definitely, I mean, he's putting up amazing numbers too, is the crazy thing. And it's just overlooked because Shohei's on his team.
Yep, I agree. Because Mike Trout is best player in baseball still, in my opinion. He has an argument to be the best player of all time. I personally think he's the greatest player I've ever seen, but yet he's just got somebody on his team I'm just being honest. See. He's just doing something that we haven't seen.
He's an anomaly.
He breaks records every single day, it seems like.
So I think it's no surprise that my AL MVP vote is Aaron Judge for the midseason. I mean, if you just look at the statistics behind it, I mean, 30 home runs, obviously. I mean, he's halfway to 60. I think he could hit 60.
You think he's beaten Barry's record?
I don't know if he'll beat it because it's at 64?
72.
Yeah, no fucking shot. He's not hitting.
There's 74.
44 home runs in the second half. If he hits 44 home runs in the second half, I could see the Yankees winning fucking 115 games.
Oh, he's got a chance with that little league field y'all play in.
Oh, fuck off. But just looking beyond, home runs, his OPS is the highest it's been since his 2017 year where he hit 52 home runs. So he's playing like 2017 Aaron Judge.
Is that the year that he won the home run derby in Miami?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah, he was hitting the fucking roof.
Yeah.
And like if you look at it, his WAR's at almost a 4 already. MVP caliber WAR statistics for a single season is 8. So 8+ typically you're an MVP. He's almost at 4.
Yeah,
so
I
was going to pull up the advanced analytics.
Thrown out.
I love throwing out WAR because it's a great stat.
I was looking around today real quick. You know who the MVPs right now would be if it was just based off of WAR, like strictly? The AL MVP would already be Shohei. Like it would already be Shohei, even though he started slow. And the NL MVP right now would be Nolan Arenado if it was just based off WAR.
Yeah, but Shohei's obviously going to have a better WAR than most people because he is pitching.
Yeah, I think the thing with WAR is you use WAR to be able to look across multiple eras and different styles of baseball and be able to compare them because baseball is so analytical now, and you can't really look at some of these standard batting statistics and get a real representation of how baseball was 15, 20 years ago compared to now, just in terms of the baseball speed of pitching. So WAR kind of consolidates everything and puts it into a number that is, manageable to look at because statistics is one of those things that, it can be very deceiving if you don't look at it the right way. Kind of like batting average. I mean, I don't see Luis Arias winning fucking AL MVP.
Or wins in a pitcher, like we were talking about earlier today. Wins, and to me, the strikeouts, they kind of do matter, but then again,
I think
you can be a pitcher for, like we were talking about Adam Wainwright. You can be a pitcher for 17 years. He's somewhere in there. I can't remember the exact number, but he's somewhere in there. And he's dominated most of his career. His toughest years were like the year after Tommy John, and then in 2018, he was just horrible. He said he didn't think that he would ever play again, and then here we are 3 years later, and he's the ageless wonder.
Yeah, sorry if I'm interrupting y'all. I'm not trying to do that, but I think I completely forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
I was gonna move it on to the NL. See what everyone's thinking on that side. I think I kind of know the answer.
I think it's obvious. Even though I'm a Cardinals fan, it's obvious.
Yeah, I'll start. I think it's Paul fucking Goldschmidt. He's been playing out of his ass. I think it's Paul Goldschmidt now. I think it'll be Paul Goldschmidt by the end of the year. There's definitely some good players in the NL. I mean, even on his own team, like Nolan could turn it back around. I mean, I wouldn't say Nolan is very far off from Paul. So it's really going to be
Not.
dependent on how that second half goes for the two of them. It's almost like an MVP race on the same team. So,
Barrett, you can go ahead.
Well, it's Paul Goldschmidt right now. Will be Paul Goldschmidt later. I was watching the game earlier, and Danny Mac, or for people who don't know, it's the Cardinals TV announcer. He brought up how he's kind of in a slump, and he has been for about a week and a half. He's still hitting 270. 270's still like amazing baseball numbers in today's world.
Yep.
And that's a slump for him right now. Which from watching, he's been striking out a little bit more, but that don't bother me. He'll turn it around after the break, and we'll be smooth sailing with the offense at least, not pitching. That's a whole nother topic, but.
Yeah, I'd hate to just sit here and agree with Wyatt, because anybody who's watching will see in future podcast episodes that me and him will not agree on a whole lot, and it will make for some good debate sometimes. And I'm looking forward to it. But I feel like it's Paul Goldschmidt right now. It'll be Paul Goldschmidt at the end of the year. I think as of right now, pretty much everybody else, like your Manny Machados of the world, Nolan, maybe even Austin Riley with Pete Alonso, those guys, they're having good years, but they're all kind of competing for second right now.
That makes me want to say something. Pete, I mean, he's got 72 RBIs before the game tonight. He's second in the NL in homers. I mean, he's putting up crazy numbers, but I don't know. He ain't hitting for average. Paul
Goldschmidt's really just been that much better this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. In a million years, whenever we got him and signed him, I wouldn't have thought that we would have been seeing this.
All right, boys. So we're moving on to the next topic of AL Cy Young. So I'll start this one. I got a little bit of a, I don't know. I wouldn't say a sleeper per se, but I guess it wouldn't be the favorite. My pick is of right now, if I had to say at midseason, would be Verlander. I think ERA is really fucking low, 11 wins, ERA at 2. Obviously, you have Shohei who's heating up right now, but I think over the course of the first half, Verlander's the pick. But I think by the end of the year, I think if Chicago can turn it around, Dylan Cease will win the Cy Young.
Not too shabby.
No, that ain't. I don't mind that pick. Y'all, it's slept on. I think right now AL Cy Young is. I'm gonna have to go with Shane McClanahan. ERA's lower. He's 10-3 compared to Verlander's 11-3. Ray's been playing awful. Their offense can't do anything. I'm looking at their stats right now. McClanahan has 7 more innings pitched than Verlander with a 1.71 ERA compared to a 2. I mean, not much. Verlander's gave up a few more hits. I think, Shane McClanahan has 147 strikeouts compared to 98. WHIP is low. Opponent average is insane for both of them. But I'm going to have to go with McClanahan right now. And I can agree with Cease. I don't know if, from what I'm seeing from the White Sox, I don't know how they can, but I don't know.
I think
I'm going to have to go with Verlander.
I think the big stat with Cease that could really help him out in the second half that if they can click is Ks per 9. He's averaging 13 Ks per 9. So if he can keep that up, his wins are going to start piling up if they can just start playing a little better. I mean, Dylan Cease isn't even top 10 in wins in the league, and fucking Jameson Taillon is up there. So that's saying a lot.
Yeah, Dylan Cease is 8-4 with a 2.3 ERA.
I think, Dylan Cease, he's only got 6 quality starts on the year, believe it or not, which is very low whenever you're looking at everybody else. And his strikeout numbers are up there. He's second in the league in strikeouts, but he's only got 6 quality starts, which tells me he's not getting deep into games. So, in my opinion, if he's going to do that, if he's going to have a chance for Cy Young, he's got to get his pitch count down and be more efficient and get deeper into games.
I think a lot of that comes down to, he has to pitch essentially perfectly with the White Sox offense being so bad. He cannot fuck up.
Yep. His walks are very, very high also.
Dylan Cease, by the way, we didn't cover pitchers, but we were going to do all-star snubs for pitchers. He's definitely up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But my picks for AL Cy Young, I think you got to go Shane McClanahan as of right now. He's got the best ERA in baseball, the most Ks in baseball. He's got the best whip in baseball. So 3 main pitching categories, in my opinion, he's leading the entire league in AL and NL. I feel like you got to go him right now. I think by the end of the year, I think Shohei will actually win it, and I think I want to say it's more of an unpopular because of it's Shohei pitching and not his hitting. Like last year, he got a lot of clout because he was hitting a lot of home runs, and the media loved him. This year, he has been good to great on the mound, but here recently over the last 6 or 7 starts, he's been phenomenal. Like he's just been untouchable. So I think if he keeps that up, I think he will win Cy Young. So right now, McClanahan, I'll say by the end of the year, Shohei keeps what he's doing right now and he wins it.
Yeah, I don't think McClanahan. I don't think wins don't really matter in the MLB right now.
No, we saw what happened last night with the Cardinals and Dodgers.
Yeah. I mean, he's 10-3. The Rays' offense is just horrendous unless they can somehow turn it around. Then I don't think that.
I think moving on to the NL. I think
the NL is a very close race.
Yeah, and I think there's a big reason why I'm going to pick who I pick. I think it's Sandy currently.
I agree.
And I think it's going to be Sandy at the end of the year. Now, Tony Gonsolin is like, everyone's talking about him because he hasn't lost yet.
He should have took his first loss last night. But
but I think the big thing is you look at some of the analytics behind it. I mean, Tony Gonsolin's playing for one of the best teams in baseball. He's got great run support.
But he also has – I said that about Julio Urias about last year.
I was about to say that. Gonsolin this year has been
wins and all that, but also Gonsolin has better stats behind him than Julio did.
Yeah.
Got a 2 ERA.
Now, I think, though, my big thing is when you compare him to Sandy, Sandy is pitching fantastic on a team that is mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he is finding ways to win games with little to no run support. He's got 9 wins on the year. He's only 2 behind Gonsolin, and he's second in ERA. So
it seems like Sandy
most innings. He's pitched most innings.
I was going to say it seems like Sandy every start you can guarantee you might as well pencil in he's going at least 7, and that's crazy in today's MLB.
Yeah. Go ahead, K-Dog.
Okay, I think right now. It honestly, I think it's really a 3-man race. It's very, very close between Sandy, Gonsolin, and I would throw Corbin Burns in there. Corbin Burns has a slightly higher ERA than them, but he also has a lot more strikeouts than them. Like he's got.
He also is on a more.
He is on
the team behind him is not that great.
The Corbin Burns, his lineup is. The Brewers lineup is very, very bad. Like it is a joke. It is just as bad as the Marlins, if not worse. Like I don't really hold his 7-4 record against him because if I remember correctly, I think only one of those losses that he has, he allowed more than 2 runs. Like when he loses, he's only given up 1 or 2 runs. Like it's just ridiculous. But I think it's very close. I would probably lean Sandy right now because of, like I said, he goes deep into it seems like every single game, and the stats are just so close between them. So right now I will give it to Sandy. I think by the end of the year, since Sandy's still a younger pitcher, I think he will start to slow down just a little bit, and I think Corbin Burnes will win back-to-back Cy Youngs.
I'm going to go Sandy right now. I think it's going to end up being Sandy later on in the year. I don't think he's going to slow down. He's young. He's going to be able to put out innings compared to the older guys in the league, like Verlander and stuff. They're going to be tired in September. Yeah, they're going to be tired in December. I might be wrong about this, but Sandy's younger. He's gonna keep dealing, and he ain't gonna feel it. The run sport sucks for him. I think that a lot of people look at wins. I hate that. It's kind of like Miles Michaelis. He's 6-7, 2.6 ERA, and is up there in innings pitched with everybody else. Actually has pitched the second most inning, tied for the second most innings in the league right now, and he's 6-7. Yep. That's horrible.
Losing record with those stats.
And the Cardinals can't score more than 2 runs. I think we've done it twice this year. We've scored 7+ in 2 of his 18 starts. That's just horrible.
Now you know how me and Kendall feel with John Means and Jordan Montgomery every start.
Seemed like every start last year, John Means, it was always just a 1-0 game. Just no run support.
That's how Wayno was last year. So I'm used to it. I felt y'all's pain.
Yeah, so Be Rich, me and you we both used youth, but we kind of disagreed on you think because Sandy's young, he's going to continue doing what he's doing, which could be right. You kind of looked like that. I look at it as since he's so young, you know how there's they call it like a rookie wall. I know he's not a rookie, but he's still a young player. He might not be – his body is not going to be used if he keeps doing this to just throwing so many innings, and I think at some point he's going to slow down. But I understand how since he's so young, his body could be able to take that.
I think it just depends on solely how he feels. Like he can tell management, like I've only got 6 in me. I've only got 7 in me. It depends on how that goes, but
I also think
it's a toss up there.
Yeah, I also think the Marlins need to be careful with him. Like I know he don't have great run support, so he's probably not in these situations very often. But if they get like a 3 run lead, don't push Sandy too far. Let him have a night where he only goes 6 innings. Like try to see if your bullpen can hold on to it.
His pitch count has been immaculate.
I know.
It's a little high. So I think they're doing a good job about watching pitch count and stuff, but
he's on pace for 260 innings.
Yeah.
Like I'm just saying, like if they're up 3 on a team like let's just say the Reds, just let him go 6. Don't make him throw the whole game. Like you're just kind of throwing him pitches for no reason at that point.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked about MVP. We've talked about Cy Young. Now's the one that I'm honestly probably the most interested to hear about, and that is Rookie of the Year.
You starting AL?
We're starting with AL. We're going to let Kendall plead his case for Adley first.
All right. Well, actually, if you had to give it out right now, it's J-Rod, not even close. Tulio Rodriguez right now. But I seriously think if Adley would have started the year, this would be a 2-man race because he started slow, but over the last month, gotten used to being in MLB every day. He's hitting close to 300 in the last month, and he has solely turned the Orioles around since he got called up. We have been one of the top 7 or 8 records in baseball since he's been called up. Like he has turned us around. So I think by the end of the year, Adley will make his case, but I just don't think it's going to be able to catch up to J-Rod because he's just been so great. It's J-Rod now. It'll be J-Rod at the end of the year. Adley will make it close. I don't care what anybody else says.
I'm going to have to go. It's J-Rod now. I agree with him. I think Adley can make it close. I was reading something earlier today talking about since Adley's gotten called up, the Orioles are 29-20, I believe. That's for a team like them to go from last year. What was y'all's record last year? I can't remember.
I want to forget last year.
It was like 44 and something.
Yeah.
Just 40 wins.
We have the lowest payroll in baseball this year.
And they're 45 and 44. Remind y'all, 2.5 games back. They would be only like 3 or 4 games back in the NL Central. I mean, they'd be close in every division. They're just playing in the best league in baseball.
We're 1.5 out of the wild card right now because the Red Sox lost, I believe.
Oh, well, also a thing that helps is Adley is behind the dish. The game comes from, I mean, a catcher has to be able to call a great game, be able to block balls, handle themselves well. Let's say he goes and strikes out up the plate, that could affect how he is behind the plate. I mean, you have to handle yourself very, very well because you have so much going on. And to me, I mean, I was a catcher. I value catchers more, but right now it's J-Rod, but Adley will end up making a very, very close run at it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I also, real quick, before you go, I love that we went and chose Adley over Bobby Witt because it's not often you see a two-way catcher like Adley who can hit both sides of the plate and is an elite defender already in the MLB because he's affecting every single pitch in the MLB. Like, he calls the pitches, he's affecting every single pitch. I love that we took him over Bobby Witt.
All right. So I guess it's time for me to go. I do agree that Julio is the winner now, and I think he'll finish the winner. He's 0.2 away from Aaron Judge in terms of WAR, and Judge is looked at as an MVP candidate. So I think that says a lot just about the type of season that he's having. I mean, he's going to finish the year with over 30 stolen bases, over 30 home runs probably.
The 30-30 club member maybe in his rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his OPS is over 800. I mean, fuck. You can't ask for a whole lot more. He started the year off slow. He put his nose to the grindstone. He got better. He progressed as the year got on. And he's playing on a Seattle team that is doing that while he is overperforming, everyone else seems to be underperforming. So I think it's good for Julio. But I do want to say something here about, the second place. Now, here, Adley. I get it.
Jeremy Pena.
He's great. And Bobby Witt, man, he's playing really. He's a good rookie. He's been pretty much up the whole year. I don't think you can give second place to Adley yet. And I think if Bobby Witt has a slightly better second half, he'll finish above Adley as second in rookie voting.
We're forgetting about somebody very, very having a very great rookie season. Jeremy Pena. I mean, he's insane. And I feel like he's very overlooked because he came in behind Carlos Correa. And people just don't think about it.
Yep.
He's putting up very good numbers. I mean, he's not stealing the bases, hitting as many home runs as J-Rod, but he's still doing an amazing job. I think that he'd be my second place vote right now.
I mean, just a lot of casual baseball fans, like, they probably know that Carlos Correa left the Astros, but I think a lot of – obviously we watch baseball. We know Jeremy Pena. I think a lot of casual baseball fans probably don't even know who he is, and he's having a great year filling in for Carlos Correa.
Well, another thing about him, he leads all the rookies in WAR. He's got a 2.4 WAR. And I know that you like the WAR stat, Wyatt, so that's why I brought that up. But
well, I think another thing that, we talked about Julio being in the 30-30 club potentially this year. Bobby Witt very well could be 30-30. He's at 12-16. A hot second half, his first part of the year he was god awful.
Yeah, he's very, very bad.
If he continues to get better, I mean, 18 home runs and 14 stolen bases is not impossible for him. And he has 5 triples on the year, which is pretty fucking good.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt is fast.
Yeah, I wasn't taking anything away from Bobby Witt a minute ago. I was just kind of like if you just looked at Adley's stats now, you would probably not think he's like doing good. But I will admit, when he first came into the league, he had a good opening night, his debut, but then he struggled so bad. I don't know what it was, but he was.
It takes
pretty
time
much
to get used to major league pitching.
Yeah, obviously he was nervous and stuff. Like it was pretty much guaranteed out. But then over like the last 3 weeks, like I said, 3 or 4, he's batting close to 300. So now that he's settled in, once you just give him some time, his base stats are obviously going to skyrocket pretty quick because he hadn't played as many games as everybody else who started the year.
Yeah.
All right. So
NL
Rookie of the Year.
I can go first.
You go first. Yep.
Go ahead, Rich.
This is your.
I think it's it's very hard for me right now. I watched Spencer Strider pitch against us, and that kid is going to be special. But Cardinals have Brendan Donovan, utility man. Didn't make the club from the beginning of the year, but I can't remember who got hurt now. But he ended up getting called up, and has been great since. I mean, he's been sick, I think, the past week, 5 days, something like that. Can't remember the exact number, but those 5 days, he's electric in the plate, makes great plays, very good defensive player. I think that he would, for me being a Cardinals fan, he would be mine first. Spencer Strider second. Now, at the end of the year, it's going to be a toss-up. For me, I ain't even going to say one. I really don't know. But that's my opinion on it.
I think right now it is Spencer Strider. I think at the end of the year, it'll be Spencer Strider. He's got a 2.5 ERA. He throws over 110 strikeouts. He's got the run support on the Braves to be able to have a good record. I mean, I feel like he's going to be good. You can't really teach a whole lot about throwing 100. He's just got a natural gift to just throw gas every start. He's been great for the Braves. He will continue to be great for the Braves. He'll have the run support to continue to be great. So I think at Spencer Strider now, I think he wins it at the end of the year. I just don't think anything changes.
My only thing with Spencer Strider is they play the Mets a bunch more times.
Yeah.
I think they still have the Dodgers, the Padres. Their remaining schedule is hard, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor. Him facing offenses like that. I think that the Cardinals could have done a better job against him if we weren't in a slump like we were.
Hey, you got to vote the stash, man.
I'm going to throw a curveball here. I think it's Spencer Strider currently. I think that it very well could be Mackenzie Gore at the end of the year.
I can see it.
Yeah. That's a very sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
ERA is a little high, but his ERA over the last month has been quite lower. It's been in the 2s. So I think if his ERA continues to kind of stabilize, because I don't think you need a 2.5 ERA to win Rookie of the Year. I think you can win Rookie of the Year with a 3 ERA.
Yeah.
His strikeouts per 9 are really good. It's at 9.2. So he's striking people out, but he's also walking a lot of batters. He's walking almost 5 per 9. So
yeah, you got to get that down.
You bring that down under, at least bring it down to 2.5, 3. He's averaging a home run in 9 innings, and I think a lot of that comes to the fact of, he's averaging 5 walks per 9 innings. So he's trying to make up for the fact that he's allowing so many runners on base and trying to hit the zone. And he's already trying to pound the strike zone anyway through his K per 9 stats. So he's probably leaving more pitches over the plate than he wants. And that also translates into his hits per 9. He averages almost 9 hits per 9 innings. So that's almost a hit an inning. If you're allowing a hit an inning, you're gonna have a tough night most nights.
On top of the 5 walks.
Yeah. So he's just allowed way too many base runners, but his total home runs allowed has only been 6. So It isn't like Hunter Green, who's allowed like 22, like a fucking shitload.
Just because you throw hard don't mean you're going to be a good pitcher.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think Mackenzie Gore has the stuff to be a Cy Young. He's just figuring it out. And I also think he has the stuff to be Rookie of the Year if his stats start to kind of come down a little bit. All right. So this one is a little – this isn't the one you're going to see at the MLB Award Show at the end of the year.
I didn't know what you meant. You're going to have to explain this to me.
So this is the least valuable player for each –
worst player in the league.
The worst player in each side.
Just for
a further explanation, I'll give you an example of who. We'll start with the AL, and my answer for worst player in the AL is Joey Gallo. I'm notorious for being very excited when we traded for Joey Gallo last year, and I will say this in defense of Joey Gallo. I'm okay with Joey Gallo batting, 100, like 210, if he's hitting 40 home runs. If he's batting 200 but hitting 40 bombs, I'm okay. That's what you're getting from him. That's what you expect. He's a 3 outcome guy. So you're not expecting the average to be there. But when you're batting 166 and you're not leading your team in home runs, and you only have 10, which Judge has 30, but still, like Matt Carpenter has 10 home runs on the year already.
He's been with y'all for like a month
and a half. Yeah.
Hey, Matt Carpenter's still in his prime.
Matt Carpenter is the X factor piece. Fuck all the trades that we need to make. That was the piece we needed. But 95 strikeouts. Now, I will say, he is not on pace to break his strikeout record, 213 last year. So he's only on average about 180, which would be pretty low strikeout. It'd be his lowest strikeout number for a full year in his entire career. And part of that comes to the fact that he's missed some games. He's not hitting nearly as much now. Carpenter's still in at-bats from him. Stanton's still in at-bats from him. Hicks is still in at-bats from him. He's not getting hardly any DH days anymore. It's purely in the field, and if he's not in the field, he's on the bench. He's still great with his glove, but his offense production has just dropped off of a fucking cliff. And he won't be a Yankee much longer, I don't think.
No.
The only thing that's keeping him there currently is his locker room presence. He is a great clubhouse guy. Every player you hear on the Yankees roster talks about how he is a key part of their team and how their culture's been built. But it won't be Andrew Benintendi, but it's probably going to be somebody. And I wouldn't even be opposed to it being someone in the organization like Estevan Florial or Miguel Andujar. But it'll be somebody, and it's coming real soon.
You want to go, B. Rich, or you want me to go?
This is a hard one for me.
I'll go ahead and go.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go.
All right. Mo, this is just the whole league, or do we need to give an AL and an NL?
It's AL.
Okay, AL.
Well, AL. If it was the whole league, it'd be Joey Gallo, no doubt.
Yeah. Trying to think. I'd hate to just say Joey Gallo and take the easy route. But I don't know. Joey Gallo, he, like you said, you get him last year, you trade for him, expected him to hit 210, 220, have about 40, 45 home runs, which last year, maybe, yeah, okay, solid. This year, no. Y'all need to literally get rid of that man. He's terrible. Like, just trade him, whatever you can get now. Like you said, you have people in your organization that could fill in for what he's doing, because he's batting 160 something, like you said, 10 bombs. Like, you're just there comes a point in time where you're hurting your team, regardless of how well you are in the clubhouse. Like, on the field, they're as good as the Yankees are this year. They could be even better if this guy wasn't holding them back.
Well, I agree with both of you. I don't even have to elaborate it more anymore. I mean, he's been so bad.
I was going to go. Can I go ahead for the NL?
Yep.
All right, NL. I think the one person that I could think of when you were talking, Wyatt, and I was trying to think is Steven Strasburg. The dude literally cannot stay on the field. He always, for the last 2 or 3 years, he's so overpaid, got a huge contract, does not pitch. He's been hurt. He finally comes back and he pitches I'm pretty sure he didn't even pitch an inning, and he's back out and he's done for the year.
He went two, I think.
Two innings, yes, and now he's done for the year. They're saying he's not going to come back. He's just eating money. He's used I don't know. The Nationals really screwed up there, giving an already injury-prone player a big contract, and now over the last 2 or 3 years, he's just continuing to just get hurt.
Another one, AL, Anthony Rendon is up there. He's doing the same thing.
Yeah, he kind of picked up a little bit this year, but yeah, he got hurt again. Now he's not going to play.
He's hitting 240.
Yeah,
with the Angels.
Compared to last year, I'm pretty sure that's an improvement. But again,
no, this is his whole time with the Angels. He's hitting 240 tops, I think. That's horrible for what he's getting paid.
To piggyback off of Kendall, I have an NL player that is a pitcher, but it's not Steven Strasburg. And I'm going to go with Trevor Rogers. I like Trevor Rogers. He's young, but he very well could be looked at as the worst active starter in the league right now. 5.5 ERA, that's come down a little bit. I mean, and what it really comes down to is just you look at his statistics, and it's just he's getting hit constantly. And he's walking a shitload of batters. 4.5 walks per 9, 1.2 home runs per 9, 9.7 hits per 9. His whip's 1.5.
I was about to say he's got to have a hot whip.
He's allowed 10 home runs already on the year in 78 innings. So it's a lot. He's getting shelled, and he's allowing a lot of walks, and it's just not working. I don't think he's doomed. He's not going to get traded. I mean, if you're Miami, you're hoping that he shows better in the second half. But as of right now, I think Trevor Rogers is the worst active starting pitcher in the league when someone like Strasburg, who's not really pitching, I mean, compared to that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember whenever the lockout ended, we played the Marlins in spring training so many times. It was crazy. Trevor Rogers pitched a lot of those games, and I thought that he was going to be great. We didn't see Sandy as much, but Trevor Rogers made the Cardinals pros look like he made them look silly sometimes, and now he's just
yeah, I think he does a lot of it to himself. I can't remember exactly who they were playing, but a couple weeks ago I was just chilling at work, and I was on break eating, and I turned on the Marlins because they were the only game on. And he was pitching, and he went first inning. He went walk, single, walk, grand slam. At that point, you're just doing it to yourself with 2 walks and leaving a pitch down the middle. I think it was Pete Alonso.
You can't walk that many people and expect the offense to be behind you. You can't walk and give up that many hits and expect the offense to be behind you. I mean, he's averaging almost 2 walks or hits per inning. That's horrible.
Yeah.
All right. So the next topic we're going to talk about is we're just talking about the trade deadline. It's coming up soon. I'd say all 3 of our teams are in different positions in terms of where we're at in standings, but also what we're looking at the deadline. I mean, the Cardinals are probably looking to buy, trying to, claw their way to secure a wild card spot or take the division.
I don't think that any of our teams are sellers.
I think the Orioles are the only team that might stay relatively neutral. I don't see them making like a blockbuster trade. But we're just going to go through, the three of us, we have a pretty good idea of what our team needs, what we'd like to see. So, B. Rich, why don't you start us off? Just what do you want the Cardinals to pull off at the trade deadline?
We need pitching. I ain't worried about the offense. Pitching is the main problem. Starting wise, Dakota Hudson has, I think they said that he only has a 58% first pitch strike rate. That's horrible. That's so bad. He's been walking a bunch of guys. He hasn't looked very good. We have been injured. We lost Matz. He didn't really, to me, he didn't seem to solve the problems that we had from last year. I think the best bet would be to go get Frankie Montas. Cardinals need to upgrade their bullpen bad. We don't have a righty that will throw, or to me me watching as a fan that I trust, other than Helsley. Gio has his knots. He isn't the same as he was last year to me. He's giving up a lot of runs. Just seems to have lost his pitch control. But an upgrading the bullpen would mean somebody that can go more innings, multiple innings. Lefty, we got back TJ McFarland, sent down probably our best lefty out of the bullpen, Zach Thompson. He's given up 1 run in 15 innings, and he got sent back down. Don't make very much sense to me, but hey. Packy Naughton has stepped up a lot. But the bullpen's got to upgrade. We need at least one more starter, in my opinion. One more good starter. I mean, Michael has been pitching good. Waino's being Waino. Steve, I think they said Steven Matz is coming back Sunday, so that'll be against the Reds. That won't be too bad of a first start back. Jack's out until September. I also think the thing that's hurt us is Yachty not being behind the plate. He's not back there calling games. And you've had Kisner, Von Herrera was back there. I think that he'll become our franchise catcher, but he's very young. He don't know the major league level like Yachty or Molina does, and that's something that's going to suck after this year with him being gone. But like I said, bullpen, one more very good starting pitcher. I think Frankie Montas could be one in the bullpen. I wouldn't mind seeing a Jorge Lopez or somebody like that. I'm not somebody like at the top of the food chain, I guess you could call it. Somebody that's going to just cost everything. But somebody decent that can get innings, go out there and not give up 7 runs in 3 innings. So,
all right, Kendall, you want me to go next, or you want to go?
It don't matter to me.
You go ahead.
All right. So, as everybody probably knows baseball, the Orioles are not supposed to be where they're at right now. At the beginning of the season, everybody was saying, "Oh, we're bad for baseball, non-competitive, all this, all that," and we're now sitting here today currently with a winning record, 1.5 games out of the wild card. So,
in the best division in baseball.
In the best division in baseball, being very competitive with everybody we play. Even if we win or lose, we're very competitive. So I think we have pieces to sell. Like, I think Rougned Odor needs to go. He's had his clutch moments, I would say. He's had a couple game-tying home runs, but I think if we traded him to a serious contender, maybe in the NL, to pinch hit, maybe play every once in a while, let's say like the Mets, get what we can, because Rougned Odor is just a bridge, 1-year contract anyway. So I definitely think we should trade him. I think the opposite for Chirinos. I think Robinson Chirinos has been a great mentor to Adley. I think we definitely need to keep him. But the bigger players on our team, I hate to just take this route, but I think I could see both ways. I think Trey Mancini is going to be a hot topic. I personally think that we will not trade Trey because I don't think that he can get the enough back to where it would outweigh what he means to our organization and the leader he is, while also batting like 280 and having a good year. So I don't know if we can get enough back to offset his leadership and what he means to our organization, beating cancer, being a fan favorite. I just don't think it offsets. So I think he stays. I think Cedric stays. He's more of a long shot to trade, but I think he's going to stay. You'll probably see an article about teams interested, but anyway, I think with the MLB draft coming up, we have Austin Hayes, Cedric Mullins, and I think we go Drew Jones first round, and Anthony Santander, and we had Colton Cowser as our first round pick last year. So there's 5 outfielders. So our outfield is very crowded, and only 3 of them could start. Maybe a 4th can DH, and they can rotate. So I think in the minors, our first round pick last year, Colton Cowser, number 5 overall, he could potentially be a prospect we could trade for a starting pitcher, like a Pablo Lopez, for example, from the Marlins, who need some hitters, maybe not immediately, but there definitely need some future lineup for sure. So Colton Cowser, maybe. Anthony Santander is going to be a hot one. I could see him going 50-50, staying or getting traded. Switch hitting power hitter. Teams could use him. Jorge Lopez, like Brandon said, he's going to be a hot name. We've moved him to closer this year. Kind of came out of nowhere, breakout year. I personally think it would be a great time to trade him. I think if anybody on our team I would like to sell, it would be Jorge Lopez, believe it or not, because we have young relievers who are doing a phenomenal this year, like Ciano Perez. He's got under a 1 ERA. Felix Bautista has been great, and he has shown signs of being very dominant, like the game me and Brandon were at Busch. It just shut the lights out in that place. And then Dylan Tate has been good. Keegan Aiken's been good. Joey Crable's been good. Like our bullpen, we have one of the best bullpens in MLB this year. We can afford to trade one of them, especially Jorge Lopez, who last year was god-awful. He was like Trevor Rogers, like Wyatt was saying. It was literally Trevor Rogers last year. It was so bad to watch. So I could see Jorge Lopez being traded for somebody, maybe a Jorge Lopez and a not-so-good prospect as Colton Cowser for Pablo Lopez again. I've read an article saying that the Marlins might trade him. Or maybe we trade like Joey Crable, one of our worst relievers, to the Marlins for like Trevor Rogers. Take a shot on him. Because Trevor Rogers, in my opinion, he still has potential. It'd be like a low-risk, high-reward kind of thing. Just take a shot on him. But overall, I could see the Orioles going both ways. I'm glad we're competitive. I hope we don't sell everybody. I think we trade 1 or 2 people out of the people I mentioned, and I think it'll be Odor and either Santander or Jorge Lopez. I think one of them go.
All right, Big Hydro.
All right, so I think you hear about the Yankees a lot. A lot of our solutions have been trade deadline. I can't wait. I think the Yankees can make a lot of great changes internally with some roster shuffling and can really turn this team around. So just looking at position by position, catcher, that ain't going to change. Jose Trevino's an all-star. Higgy's a great second. Okay, you go into the infield, and everyone hates IKF. The Yankee fan base hates IKF. They want him gone. He leads MLB in errors. He was literally brought in for his defense. You send IKF down or you trade him, and you bring up Oswald Peraza. Number 1 shortstop prospect for the Yankees. He's MLB ready. He's ready to roll. He's young. If you want someone for his bat, he's good. His defense isn't bad. Let's give him a shot. You got Marwin Gonzalez behind him, and let's go there. And you have Tyler Wade. You can bring Tyler Wade up too. And if Oswald isn't working, bring Tyler Wade up. Tyler Wade as a Yankee has proven to be decent. He's not there to bat 280. If Tyler Wade bats 250 and commits 0 errors, that's what we want him there for. And that's what we brought IKF in, and he didn't. He didn't do that. In the outfield, Gallo's going to be gone. The Benintendi trade's pretty much not going to happen just because of how many times we play the Blue Jays in the second half. We can't really risk a guy being unvaccinated on the team because currently no one on our team is unvaccinated. So the Yankees are pretty much out on Benintendi, which was someone I was looking forward to see. Michael A. Taylor has been kind of the other favorite. I think you can call it Miguel Andujar. DFA Joey Gallo or trade him for a player to be named later because his value's so low. Andujar led the MLB in doubles his rookie year. That was like 4 years ago. It's not that far. You bring Andujar up, you let him, Hicks, and Judge play the outfield. Hicks is heated back up. I'm not worried about Hicks out there. Keep him out there. He's got a great arm, and he's hitting now. You have Carpenter in case one of them gets in a slump because the man hits fucking bombs all the damn time. He's at 11 on the year, and he's been with the team a little over a month and a half. And the real big side that needs to be changed is pitching. Severino just went out on the IL. Domingo Germán's about to come back up. I think after the All-Star break, you go to a 6-man rotation. You keep Severino in the rotation. You keep Germán in the rotation. You limit the amount of innings Cole and especially Nestor pitch in the second half. Nestor was a reliever last year, essentially, that made spot starts. He's not stretched out to pitch 200 innings. He doesn't need to pitch 200 innings. He needs to be ready for the postseason. So you either stay at 5 and let someone like J.P. Sears come in and spot start every once in a while, or you bring Domingo up, you put him as the 6th starter, you run a 6-man rotation for the second half of the year. Now, for potential starting pitcher trades, I just don't think the market's out there that we're not getting Frankie Montas because I don't think we need to give up the kind of prospect bundle that they're wanting. Ken Wanderchuk's right on the fucking cusp. We had to get rid of Clark Schmidt too. He's a great reliever. It's not worth it. I think you can't sit there and sacrifice the long-term success of the Yankees for a decent starter in Frankie Montas. He's not fantastic. He's not someone that I'd be willing to give a whole prospect package for. So I think Domingo Germán, you bring him up, you let him do his thing, and you go 6, and you just kind of eat the fact that Jameson Taillon is not going to pitch like Garrett Cole for a whole year. People are freaking out because he has a 3.5 ERA now. That's Jameson Taillon. That's normal. Like, not every Yankee pitcher is going to have a 2.2 ERA. So, I think if we're going to trade for anybody, it needs to be in the bullpen. Lucas Lidke, fuck you. You're ass. You just took the loss to the Reds tonight. You're ass. You've always been ass. I think you've been ass. Wandy Peralta, you choked against the fucking Red Sox last weekend. Ass. Get you out of there. Clark Schmidt's sitting in fucking AAA. It's better than both of those guys. So I think
Yankees are poverty.
Fuck you. I think you bring Clark Schmidt back up and you trade Lucas Lidke and you trade Wandy Peralta and you trade a prospect and you go get David Robertson from the Cubs and you bring him back to New York where he started it all. David Robertson's having a great year. Late inning guy. If Clay Holmes gets hurt, I trust David Robinson over Aroldis Chapman any fucking day of the week. Aroldis is starting to kind of get back in it a little bit. He had a good couple innings against the Reds 2 nights ago, so he's starting to come back. And I don't think with Aroldis it's not a lack of pitching; it's a confidence problem. He's so key on velocity, and without any confidence, he's just throwing darts and blindfolded and hoping it hits the strike zone. So Jonathan Loáisiga's back. Michael King's good. Miguel Castro's all right. Albert Abreu, if you want to trade him, I don't really like him either. Bring J.P. Sears up. Like 90% of the Yankees' problems would be just relying on our farm system that we've been building since 2017 and just let them come in and let them go. We can go 500 the second half and still win 90 games. I mean, and I would say do it right after the second half starts. And if the trade deadline hits and shit's still it's not working, then go make the trades you need to make. But for right now, I just don't feel like it's necessary for the Yankees to go out and blow a bunch of prospects away for someone like Frankie Montas or Jorge Lopez, who's going to come in and pitch like with a 3.3 ERA, and essentially you're getting one less run a start than Tyone probably. It's not worth it.
I would like to add on my Orioles thing real quick. It won't be long, but the reason I say another reason I say Odor for unless outside of the obvious he's a 1-year player is we have a 20. I know he's only 20 years old, but there's a few notable names that were in the league and they're 20. Ronnie, Soto. I'm not trying to compare this guy to them just yet, but that's just my point. Gunnar Henderson is ready. He is raking in every minor league level he's been at the last 2 years, and he is in AAA right now. Almost, I would say he's knocking at the door, but I just don't know because he's 20. I would like him to be up. He could play third, put him at third, move Urias to second after we get rid of Odor, and possibly call up DL Hall because he's been shoving in AAA and he would help us immediately.
All right. So I guess we're going to go to
time.
the home run derby. Let me pull this up.
The derby.
Quick.
The Pete Alonso try hard event.
Hey, why'd I have it pulled up if you want me to just go ahead?
Yeah, let's just do it that way.
All right. We can just go round by round, or can we just, or do you just want to give up or tell it?
We just go round by round.
Tell them. Okay. 1 seed Kyle Schwarber versus 8 seed Albert Pujols. I'll just go ahead and say my answer. Albert Pujols.
Oh, fuck.
Good grief,
He's dethroning the polar bear. Actually, he ain't even got to worry about it. You'll find that
where
out
is this
later.
at? Dodger Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Albert. So Albert's going
knows
up against Schwarber.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 1 versus 8.
Schwarber all day. Easy.
I think it comes down to purely the fact that I think Schwarber could sit there and take that many swings and not get as fatigued as Pujols is.
He just won't get gassed.
Yeah.
Albert is 43, so
yeah, he is a little up there.
Yeah.
Now, would it be fucking awesome for him to win the damn thing? Like,
oh yeah.
If it was up to me, it would be Pujols versus Julio Rodriguez in the finals. As a young versus old, passing of the guard. Cool. Give me Kyle Schwarber.
I read something that was let Miggy and Pujols have a round the day before or whatever, for the 8 seed, have a miniature home run derby between those two. But next matchup's going to be the 4 and 5. The 4 is Juan Soto. The 5 is Jose Ramirez. I picked Juan Soto.
I will also go Soto. I think Juan Soto is going to be the popular pick there, but I would not be shocked at all if Jose Ramirez comes in there and beats him.
Yeah, it was very hard for me to pick, but
I'm going to take Ramirez. And I think one thing to think about is who's pitching to these guys? Because Pete Alonso's pitcher is half the reason why he won it last year.
True.
I mean,
yep.
So if Juan
Pete Alonso's batting practice pitcher is making him a lot more money.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez, though. I just think that man just rips on baseballs.
Which I don't know if y'all knew this, but the seeding goes off of how many home runs each person has.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know. But the 3 and 6 seed, the 3 seed is Corey Seager. The 6 seed is Julio Rodriguez. I'll let y'all go first.
Give me J-Rod in an upset there. I think he beats Seager.
You can go ahead, Big Hydro.
I think it's Seager. I think even though he's the 3rd seed, I think he's kind of slept on, shortstop, smaller kind of guy. I think Corey Seager is he's gonna hit it consistently well. I think J-Rod's gonna get too excited. He's gonna try to start pimping stuff, and it's just not gonna work out.
I am interested to see if the Dodger crowd gets behind Corey Seager, because since he's coming back home to the Dodgers, I wonder if they get behind him and root for him, since there's not a Dodgers hitter in the Derby.
I hope they boo the hell out of him.
Yeah, I hope they boo him off the field, but they'll probably give him a standing ovation.
I'm going to pick J-Rod there. I think
Upset.
the youngin will upset him. 2 and 7 seed. 2 seed is Polar Bear Pete,
This one should be really good.
and the 7 seed is Ronald Cooney Jr. Polar Bear Pete's going back home first round.
I'm
That's my
going to
take.
agree. I'm going to agree with B. Rich. I think that the back-to-back home run derby champ, the try hard in it, is going to get dethroned by Ronnie Baseball himself in the first round.
I think Pete Alonso will not win the home run derby, but I do think he will get out of the first round. So I'm going with Pete Alonso.
Okay. So we're just going to go based on who got more votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all went Schwarber first round, right?
Yep. Schwarber and Soto.
Round 2 would have to be
Just by majority vote.
yeah. Schwarber versus Soto. I'm gonna go Soto.
I will
I'm a
go.
little upset.
I will go Kyle Schwarber there.
I'm going Schwarber as well. Nothing really to elaborate on there. I just think he's going to hit more dingers.
I think Juan Soto's been in it before, hasn't he?
They both have. Soto's been in it before, but Schwarber has too.
When's the last time Schwarber's in it? I can't remember.
A couple of years ago, he lost to Bryce Harper in the finals because there was
19?
Something like that. Because there was that
19.
that whole thing about whether Bryce Harper's batting practice pitcher was cheating or not because he was throwing the balls before they landed.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that, yeah. So that would leave J-Rod and Acuna. Big Hydro, let's hear your first one. Wait, you hadn't said anything first.
If it's J-Rod and Acuna, I'm taking Acuna. I don't think either one of them will be in the second round, but if I had to pick theoretically, I'd say Acuna.
I'm going to go Acuna.
I voted for J-Rod and Acuna, and I think Acuna beats J-Rod.
I figured it'd be clean sweep between all of us. For the home run derby winner, taking home all the money, Schwarber versus Acuna.
I think if that is the finals, I think that will be very entertaining.
Yeah, it will be.
It'll be hype.
Yeah.
I think I'll go first. I think Jake's not going to like this when he watches it, but I think Kyle Schwarber wins his first home run derby. I think he wins it all. And I think he beats Ronnie by 1 home run.
I think it'll depend on who goes second.
Yeah. I think Schwarber will win, and I think it's going to come down to extra time. You know how they get the extra time if they hit over 450?
Yeah.
I think that Schwarber and Acuna will essentially be really close. But I just see, like, if you really look at it, as Schwarber's probably going to get to go second against Pujols because he's the higher seed.
Yeah, he will.
So he won't have to wear himself out there.
And so if he plays against Soto in the second round or Ramirez, like, that will be a little tighter. And then you have Acuna, but Acuna is going to have a tougher road to get there because he's going to have to hit a fuck ton of home runs to beat Pete Alonso.
Yeah. Which I think he can do it.
Yeah.
It's just Pete Alonso in any home run derby is going to be a hard out. But I think, like you said, Schwarber's the number 1 seed. He's going to be hitting second all night. Like, he ain't going that's the benefit Pete Alonso had last year. He didn't have to wear himself out because all he had to do was just hit one more home run than the guy who just went in front of him, and then he could just rest. He didn't have to swing the whole time.
Vladdy should have won that, by the way.
I agree. Should have.
But, all right, then I think it's decided that the 2022 home run derby winner, based on our unqualified opinion.
Very qualified opinions.
Very qualified.
Very unqualified opinion.
This is Hydro and Co., baby. Yeah. We're very qualified around here.
Kyle motherfucking Schwarber.
All right, now it's time. Now it is time to do a little spice it up bracket.
Little fun segment.
Yeah, a little fun segment here.
Something that's not even remotely related to baseball at all.
To end the first episode of the podcast, me and Big Hydro, Wyatt there himself, have constructed a drinks bracket, and we are going to vote and B Rich will see what the contestants are as we go.
So, B Rich, I'll go ahead and tell you, since you weren't here to see the construction of this, I had to make this all by myself on this website. And we have 4 sections of the bracket. We got our sodas, we got our beers, we got our non-caffeinated drinks, and we have sports drinks. So I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to get to look at this masterpiece that I've created. I already know that
this should be fun.
One of the drinks that you're going to see on here very early on. I'm just waiting to see what you say. So,
it's probably Mountain Dew or something.
This is the bracket. So,
oh my word!
Scrolling down a little bit.
What?
Good grief! What?
I already see it.
Twisted Teas, baby.
I was not an advocate for this beer, Rich. I pushed for either Coors or Budweiser or some other kind of beer.
So you can tell that we can click through it. So we're going to start up here. So how this is going to work is just like with the Home Run Derby bracket. We're just going to roll through it and talk each other, and majority vote wins. So we'll go ahead and start Dr. Pepper versus Coke.
Dr. Pepper.
I think that by the way, I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. Oh, y'all are split, so it comes down to me. I'm not a big soda person, but Dr. Pepper is the best soda in the world, so Dr. Pepper wins that one.
God bless. Dr. Pepper tastes like asshole.
I don't even have to say
I completely disagree.
It tastes.
I can't.
Dr. Pepper is
flat.
immaculate.
Okay.
Oh, no, it don't.
Yes, it does.
Oh, no, it don't.
Sprite versus Mountain Dew, and we're probably about to piss Brandon off because it's fucking Sprite, damn it.
Well, go ahead. I ain't even going to say anything.
Go ahead, Kendall.
Well, I gave you a chance to get Mountain Dew at least not
one vote.
Yeah, but it's Sprite. Move Sprite.
Sprite's on to the next round, baby. Okay, we're going to move down here. Busch versus Miller.
Woo! Yeah, we know how B-Rich
So B-Rich is voting Busch. I've drank multiple of both of these beers. And I will say that even though I don't really like either one, Busch is better than Miller.
Let's go.
I think it's very close. I like both of those a lot, but I will also go Busch.
Clean sweep for the Busch crew.
All right. Moving on.
Mickey's
versus Twisted motherfucking Tea.
We don't have to debate. Move Mickey on.
Well, fuck y'all,
the
man.
water. Move the water beer.
Twisted Tea is so much better.
Round.
Twisted Tea is so much better.
Twisted Tea, get that. No, get it out.
Okay, moving on to the sports drinks. Okay, this does not dictate color, be rich. It's just Gatorade versus Powerade.
It's Gatorade versus Powerade.
It's Gatorade.
And it is Gatorade, and it's not even close.
Yep.
Powerade
is like the Dr. Pepper of sports drinks.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you just say?
I said Powerade is the Dr. Pepper of sports drinks.
Oh, no. Powerade is like the Mountain Dew.
Oh.
Okay, now, Body Armor versus Propel. Yeah, Body Armor.
Body Armor.
Okay, this does not mean Milo sweet tea. This is just sweet tea versus lemonade.
Sweet tea in general versus lemonade.
Sweet tea. And then this is the weirdest one. This is kind of a filler. Chocolate milk versus coffee.
Chocolate milk.
I'm going
both
chocolate
of them
milk.
Are nasty.
Even though chocolate milk is giving me the shits.
Give
100%.
me a break, B-Rich.
Okay.
I'm new to coffee, so you can say whatever you want about coffee, but you're not about to sit here and tell me chocolate milk is nasty.
White milk. That's all I can drink.
Good grief.
You know B-Rich with his fucking old ass knees is going to be the kind of guy who makes his future wife bring him cornbread to fucking dinner and with a glass of milk.
With a white milk. I like white milk. I do, but
okay.
I mean, chocolate milk's on a different tier, man.
Dr. Pepper versus Sprite.
Dr. Pepper.
Sprite. Kendall.
Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I done told you it's the best soda.
Bush. Yep. It's gonna move on there.
Bush.
Gatorade versus Body Armor.
Gatorade.
I'm going Body Armor.
Well, it comes down to me. And even though I think blue nipple top Gatorade is next level, it's fucking Body Armor.
Let's go.
Sweet tea versus chocolate milk.
Sweet tea.
Oh, my heart is so torn.
It's sweet tea. I'm not even going to let
My
you vote.
heart-
I'll help you
My
out.
heart is torn. Yeah, I'm not voting on that.
All right. The final four in our drink bracket is Dr. Pepper, Bush, Body Armor, and sweet tea.
As it should have been.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think it should be Sprite, Twisted Tea, Body Armor, and sweet
Oh,
tea.
good God.
It should be the battle
Twisted
of the tea
tea.
in the end.
Oh, no.
The crazy uncle version of sweet tea is Twisted
All right.
Tea. All right. Dr. Pepper versus Bush.
Bush. I've forgotten where I don't drink soda.
I'm not a
as
soda
much as I
person.
did.
I'm not a soda person, so I'm also going Bush.
I was going to say Bush because fuck Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, don't. If we ever blow up, Dr. Pepper, don't sponsor us because we don't want your fucking advertisements.
Hey, Dr. Pepper, if you sponsor us, we'll be happy to accept.
Happy.
Body Armor versus Sweet Tea.
Sweet tea. You can't
Sweet
beat.
tea.
You can't beat old.
Well,
I mean,
the Southern
K-Dog
man's
Sweet Tea?
dilemma.
K Dog sweet tea.
this right
let me
here?
Tell you.
This
Yeah.
right here?
Woo!
Hey, K Dog
Yeah.
sweet tea, like 8 cups of sugar.
Make your
And-
teeth fall out.
Yeah.
Not that much.
No, I'm exaggerating, but you
Okay.
do put a lot of it.
The Trailer Park Championship. Bush Light versus Sweet Tea.
My question is, why do we have a Bush heavy can?
Because
It's like-
Bush Heavy is elite.
Oh, good
Oh.
God. Good
It-
grief. This guy.
Oh,
If I'm gonna drink a fucking bread, might as well give me the whole damn loaf.
no.
Oh. Anybody who
okay.
knows anybody who knows me knows I've drank sweet tea all my life, so I'm voting sweet tea.
To me, Big Hydro, what are you gonna say? I already know what you're gonna say. I'll just go ahead and say my piece. I can't go to work and drink Bush Light.
I, would, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I could.
You
I'd be
could.
tired.
Do
I'd be
not,
jobless.
do not watch this.
I'd be praying that this podcast got us somewhere, but definitely got to go sweet tea here.
All right. Well, that, my friends, is the winner. Sweet tea.
Sweet tea, baby.
Just
Well,
want to
Best
add,
drink on planet Earth.
Milo Sweet Tea is the best gas station
No.
sweet tea there is.
It's the best gas station. Sweet
Yeah,
tea.
gas station. I thought
Yeah.
you were about to say best sweet tea there.
No.
I was about to have to correct
Now, I
you.
will say, if you drink Milo's from the source, from the Milo's restaurants in Alabama, it is a different fucking level. Like the Milo's you have in the bottle and the Milo's you drink at the actual restaurant, night and day, and it's 10 times better. So I recommend everyone to try some Milo's if you ever get the chance. But that is the end of episode 1.
Boys, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Hey,
It's been real.
I'm already looking forward to next episode.
Yeah, we'll have episode 2 out probably pretty soon. Probably
Are
talk
we
some
gonna-
more baseball, talk some football maybe.
Yeah, I thought we're going to do our NFL
yeah.
season predictions.
We aren't just a baseball podcast. Me and K Dog here are pretty known football guys. Be
Diehard
Rich,
football.
not so
I
much.
keep up.
You set your
Uh,
fantasy lineups. We thank you for that.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, thank you very much.
You try your best, but we're gonna talk a little baseball, talk a little football. But I think the whole goal of this podcast for us is just to fuck around and take the conversations that we normally would be doing on PlayStation right now and recording it and putting it on the
Yeah.
internet. So
As we do more episodes, it will start to get more normal. Like today, we had fun, but let's just be real. It could have been more normal to what we do in PlayStation parties, but It'll get there. It'll get there.
We can't spoil it. We can't spoil whoever the 5 people who watch this too much.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Yeah. But that is it, boys. And we will see y'all in the next episode of Hydro & Co. Thank you very much.